Let's get into this week's daily news. We'll try and get through it as fast as we can, starting with the fact that Bitcoin rejected at 105K and it's going down. What is going to go further? We'll cover that a little bit later. But let's move on to some actual Solana Sui crypto news in general. Starting off with Coinbase entering the S&P 500, May 19. Congratulations to them. Growing. This will be one company and there'll be more and more and more. Kamino Finance Season 3 has concluded. People are asking when this was going to conclude many times before. It's now concluded. 350 million Kamino worth 26 million distributed. Airdrop checker, S3 analysis, and Season 4 info belong. So it gives you all the details. And you go and connect your wallet and see what it is. Now, personally, very bullish on Kamino as an application, as a dApp. And I did a thesis write-up, and I'll take it very, very quickly. But I thought there would be a whole lot more upside on Kamino token. I think that will come in the altcoin season, but the DAO hasn't formed yet, which is not a bad thing because you could see that Jupe DAO being formed. It's like ironed out the kinks for the rest of the DAOs, essentially. So with that in mind, I'm going to be selling some Kamino. I'm going to sell my Kamino, but I'm probably just going to then put it into, JLP or different strategies, or mostly borrow and lend and multiply. That's where my party's at. Liquidity, you'll have more fun elsewhere unless you see some sizable rewards that make it worthwhile. I would love that to be completely true, but that is not true. Okay, next bit of news. So Solana Floor is reporting on this. Huma Finance, which is a dApp I've covered in a tutorial, worth checking out. They will be doing a token generation event, launching with CatPad on Jupe, and they want to do like a 1% swap for 250K worth of Jupe tokens for 250K worth of Huma tokens. I think it's going to be a worthwhile thing. $75 million FTV. Kind of like undervalued for what they're bringing, I think, potentially. They don't have crazy revenue, but like over 10 million a year, and it will grow and grow. It has like real product market fit. So I think that's a good thing. So watch out for potentially that vote to happen. Also, while I'm here, just because I'm pointed out, I'm using now for Sui, I'm using OKX wallet. It shows you like the prices. I just thought Twitter had upgraded, but it isn't. It's just showing you the prices, which is really cool. And you jump over something like this and it shows you what's going on. Ouch, down 11%, what the current price is. Well, I mean, it's slightly different there, right? But it's basically the same. This is pretty damn cool. So use that wallet. Let's talk about Meteora, Mythical Potato, using DAM V2. I will be working this out, tutorialing it, and trying to work out how it can be profitable in more cases than not, because this one sol turned into 600 plus fees of $1.4 thousand by getting it early to Yappa. You need to get in early with these. Sats Monkeys also do the same thing, 0.1 sol into $41 and $61 of fees. He also went ahead and did this good thread on it. I would like to give it video justice, but I haven't got time before I get to New York. So Axiom is like a competitor to GMGN, and it's been referenced more and more, so this could be something that you may want to check out. And speaking of going to New York, Solana tickets are selling out fast for Solana Accelerate. Ship or die. I will be going. You don't even have to pay for a ticket, most likely. You buy one ticket, you get one free. So you did initially. So there's probably just people in your magical internet friend circle that got a ticket, and you could just go for free. You just need to pay for accommodation, flights, and whatever, which is of course more expensive. But I think this is really cool. And I didn't even really think this was going to be a big event, but it looks like it's going to be a pretty sizable event, to be perfectly honest. MetaProfit will be talking. There'll be so many people chatting, and like do your best to listen to these people, and find the trends, of course, but find the gigabrains that are going to really find their product market fit, and you may want to invest in those tokens or get busy with those teams. Find a job, who knows? Same with a midday walk with Moonwalk and Coffee, both with Jito. All good things, Coffee, Moonwalk, and Jito. And this is some pretty epic news. Hive Map I've covered a few times. It's like a Google Maps alternative. You put a dash cam at the top of your car, you drive everywhere, it records, sends it back to Hive Mapper, it updates real time, a change of speed, a new road, all that kind of jazz. And now Lyft is using it. That's really cool. I don't know if you're driving along in a car, like the car tells you one speed, and then your phone or Google Maps or Apple Maps, whatever, tells you a different speed on that road. Like, what is it? Like, there aren't enough signs to even know what's going on. Next bit of news is this. Claynosaurs, Solana project, launching a second collection on Sui. This is going to do really, really well, in my opinion. Like, they have the best branding. They really do. Like, this appeals to all ages. I'm older, and I'm like, this is cool. Young kids are going to be like, this is cool. And they like one of the few projects that have actually survived. So, as a bit of a reminder, or remember for now, I don't have all the details. The details kind of like not are a bit scarce. There is no whitelist. This is an unlimited mint. Every mint gives you a chance to get a popkin. If you don't catch one, your mint is refunded. But they're also going to give away some free mints for these collections to distribute, apparently. And so these free mints would probably mean that you don't have to pay $200 and you run the risk of getting one or not getting one. I'm not sure, but either way, I'm pumped. So before then, make sure you've got an OKX wallet and some SUI and some USDC, and I've got tutorials on how to do that. Next bit of news. Now, I mean, ideally, take your SOL, stake it with Validate.com. But if you want a little bit of SOL with some BTC upside, you could potentially do something like this. At least follow them, see if it aligns with you. I'm not going to do it yet. I think SOL will outperform BTC, and then I can just take profits into BTC like this. But BTC SOL, you can stake your SOL, and then they take the rewards to grow the BTC stack. It's kind of potentially a good idea. Yeah. Otherwise, take some rewards and just swap it for ZBTC. Just put it on your radar. Next bit of news, even though I'm going to be using OKX, I still think this is worth covering for those that like Backpack. Solflare is my Solana wallet. Backpack is doing really good things. How to claim your share of 200K in rewards, and have a look through here. I think the biggest thing is like, I have a feeling that this relates to more, you actually have to, the actual exchange, right? And then there's 30K in rewards up for grabs for using Suiland, Streamfy, and whatnot. So yeah, check it out. Now, a little bit of a serious reminder, like keep your operational security in check. Like use different wallets, have a Ledger wallet, two-factor authentication, all that kind of stuff. Passkeys. Cadence was targeted, and this is only the beginning. Buffalo was targeted, and it's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger in terms of the scam presence as the cycle starts to develop. So just stay safe. Really just want you to stay safe. Next bit of news is INFINEX. Tomorrow the world pays attention to INFINEX. Maybe a token generation event has been announced, which kind of came out of the blue, but cool. Yap about them if you like to yap. Enjoy the calm timeline before INFINEX takes over. I've covered INFINEX quite a few times to the point where people thought I was like paid by them or whatever. I wish. INFINEX is like something that has so much product market fit. People just don't know it until it's dominant, and it's becoming more and more dominant. So get amongst it. Let's have a look at what's actually going on with potential liquidations to see where Bitcoin could be going. Spoiler alert, I think it's going to go down a little bit. How do we kind of look at this information? Let's look at SOL first because, well, I'm on the SOL chat on the SOL liquidation information. If we have a look at like SOL Bybit, because Bybit and Binance is the biggest, you can see there's more larger cluster to move on down to like 167-ish than it is to move up and to liquidate these people here. Yeah, there's a couple of big candles, but overall there's more liquidation at different levels. So I would expect it to move down. And then if we flick this over to Binance, and this website's CoinGlass, you can use it yourself. You can also see some on-chain stuff with a range of finance, which is really cool. You can see, I mean, it's kind of equal here, but like just to move it down like $1 and a bit, you'll liquidate a decent amount, whereas you have to move it a couple of dollars. So I'm seeing us kind of move down at this stage. And if we have a look at Bitcoin, there's a massive move to move us all the way down to like 100,500. That there's so much liquidation there of the longs. And a lot of it, like look at all this 50x leverage and 100x leverage. That's just pure degeneracy. Binance, same deal. It's clearly it's clearly a move down, is what my expectation would be. Also, in general, there's not a lot of leverage in the market. This has been spot buying that's kind of moved us up. We can see these higher levels. This happens when there's far more like actual perp exchange stuff going on. That's not happening right now. Now, I've spoken about this quite a few times. I've done live streams on it all last week on looking at GMGN for different trends and whatnot. This is now getting like harder and harder and harder. So just be mindful that maybe devote a very small amount of percentage to the trenches of your portfolio. Maybe it's 5, maybe it's 10, you decide. And then look for like conviction projects. I know you can get big returns on this, but these things are like, they're deadly. Like where did this come from? You know, what's going on with the chart? It's just a nasty chart. Now let's actually have a look at like where I think the market's going. So this is a Katoshi settings, and I've mentioned them many times before. This is on the 2-hour chart. There's a video on it. And it's pretty simple. When it goes green, you buy, you long. And then, so you wait for a green candle to close. So you get it at this, like if you're up at that time. And then you close when it goes red. So you close here, you'd be up 20%, but you could have closed a little bit higher. When it goes red, you put on a short if you can catch that candle. Either way, it shows, you know, strength is leaving the market with this particular indicator, and it's got like a 90% success rate. Sometimes it's not accurate, but when it's got more of a move to it, like this is kind of quite flat, then this is flat, this is a move. This is Ethereum. You know, we saw it like it was kind of obvious. And we've also gone red with Ethereum as well, but this is a little bit more flatter. With Bitcoin, it's more of a serious down trend. So we could come on down. We could come down a little bit further. We saw the liquidation data. So this is a shortable opportunity. So if you didn't take profits on Sol like 184, I'm sure we're going to be back over there in not too long. But just keep in mind, I think we pushed down a little bit. Sui as well. Sui was like fantastic, similar to like Solana or ETH, I think, in terms of a move up. Maybe, to Sol as well. They all did actually pretty well, but now there's a bit of a downturn. So like you've got options. When you want to go and set bids, you can set it where you think it's not going to go. You can go lower than what you think it could be going. That could be a good bit of advice. Let's have a quick look at the calendar, bring this back and make it relevant. So I haven't covered this, but SNS token generation event went live. Wasn't like super exciting for many people. Solana ecosystem was good. Dupe Rally, there's not a whole lot of stuff here, but the calendar will be put back in for sure. Just if you own a .sol domain name, only .sol, not .bonk or whatever. If you own a .sol, check out if you've got an SNS TG token. That if you can go claim one and then I don't know, do what you like with it. A lot of people are selling it. Bit of sell pressure on that for sure. The last thing I want to say is Foji's Hub. Give us a follow over here. Doing a whole lot of Fogo chain news. Fogo chain is like a Solana chain on steroids, and I think it's going to blow up. It's going to blow up. It's going to be a hyper liquid, but on an SVM, and we cover like a whole lot of information. It's properly decent. A lot of research goes into it, and I'm really bullish. People talk about like how are you going to make it, you know, entering this part of the cycle. You can buy Sol and you can buy other things, but there are some things that have such a core thesis like INFINEX and Foji's Hub or Fogo chain in general that put some effort into those sort of things. That's my viewpoint. Take it or leave it. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video. Cheers.